one.
ZTP Magazine World Premiere.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
ZTPmagazine.com brings you a superhero? Not that Ant-Man, this Ant-Man.
Hey, what's going on? It's Antman from ZTP Mag.
And this is Antman Verses.
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
I'm a rockin' and I'm a rollin'.
Antman Verses
It's all about giving you the story the right way. Up close and personal, bringing you all the information about his music familia.
Antman Verses
Not only gives you insight on the artist, but the life and the strive to become the artist they become.
Antman Verses.
What's going on, Music Familia? What's going on, Siobhan?
Not too much. What's going on?
So, back another week. Tuesday. New Music Tuesdays, I guess you could call it. Something like that. And, having an awesome break from Facebook. My phone has never been quieter.
Yeah.
Never been
How
quieter.
about that?
Like, all through the entire house and through everywhere that I've been, like, I'm able to have full-length conversations and not have the ding after the end of every conversation. Now, I know how important it is to be on social media, so I took it as a break, but I know how important it is, so I'm gonna have to come back. But when I come back, I'm gonna cut that friends list in half, because you realize who your friends are when shit gets real rough.
That you do.
And so speaking of, man, so as my phone starts going off, so
Shame on you.
you know, yeah, right. So one of the big things we're talking about this evening, we're gonna talk a lot about. We got music news. We got we got a pro Hall of Famer to talk about that passed away. We have Douchebag Criminals coming up. We got your 10-day forecast, which is new. So we're going to start doing like a 10-day forecast type of thing for our YouTube followers. So, you know, kind of give them some content so they know what to look forward to. Because they know they can't count on the weatherman here. If you don't like it,
True.
just wait 5 minutes is what they say.
And let's be honest, the emojis aren't very fun. You know?
No, I get tired of the same old emojis every
I
morning.
mean, they're pretty much the same, yeah. So
In my
I mean,
phone, I have a lot more than just a sad face, an angry face.
we can liven the weather up a little bit.
Right. I've only ever
And
seen
tomorrow's going to be goddamn rain.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
They
Next
can't
3
say that
days.
on TV, you know.
Then the next 3 days, it's going to be rain. But so I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, man. Coldcock Whiskey. Make sure you guys go to coldcockwhiskey.com/store to take your shot with Coldcock Whiskey. And ZTPmagazine.com. Raw, beautiful, bold. ZTP Magazine. Awesome group of boys and girls over there. I love those guys. Shout out to Jeremy and everybody over there. I love you guys. And, you know, it's funny. Like, since I wasn't on Facebook, but I'm on Instagram and Twitter, they don't know, I don't think, that we're still doing the show. So I think on the whole, me taking a social media break means that I just lost a bunch of viewers for the show this evening, maybe.
It's a possibility, but I'm sure that they'll still check in just to see. Because, I mean, there are 3 people watching.
Yeah, so we'll see.
So, you know, I mean, don't lose faith. They
Oh,
might.
no.
They might. Check
I never
in.
lose faith in my music familia. I just, you know, like, shame on me for taking a short break. And
Everybody needs a little break every
having to
once
get
in a while.
my poop in a group. Had to get my poop emoji to work.
TMI.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to pay some bills right now with Coldcock Whiskey, and we're going to come back with some new Grindhouse, some Dread Engine in the hour, and we'll probably play something out of my sporadic folder. And,
4.
And we got This Day in Music coming up as well. Thank you guys so much for the rumors and the shares and the talk about the podcast. A lot of people are buzzing about it. I really appreciate everybody's support from it, man. And I'm excited to be able to kick off the summer with a real big bang, and we're going to talk about how we're going to do that too. I think I have a couple ideas. Hopefully we can include you in it. But let's pay some bills and get into some music. We'll be right back after this.
Cold Cock American Herbal Flavored Whiskey. At Cold Cock, we believe life is about taking your shot. It's about sharing your soul with the people who care to listen, not selling it to whoever will buy it. At Cold Cock, we also believe fine spirits are truly about celebrating the greatest moments in life with true friends. And that's what we strive to put into every bottle of Cold Cock American Herbal Flavored Whiskey. So here's our best wish to whatever you raise your glass for. Take your shot. Cold Cock American Herbal Flavored Whiskey. Must be 21 to drink. And please, drink responsibly.
The devil that you know, safer than the one you don't. Don't let him see your sleep. Cover's easy to read. Shines in the light, darker than the night. Keep that door locked tight. Hide the key, it's not easy. And you know you can't hide those bones forever. The lock is broken. Hide your every sin. I know I see your skeletons that you keep. Come to dance in your sleep. Every second that you hide, monsters come outside. No matter how hard you try, the bones don't comply. Keep that door locked tight. Hide the key, it's not easy. And you know you can't hide those bones forever. The lock is broken. Hide your every sin. I know I see your skeletons. Shines in the light, darker than the night. Keep that door locked tight. Hide the key, it's not easy. Easy, yeah. You know you can't hide those bones forever. The lock is broken. Hide your every sin. I know I see your skeletons. I see your skeletons. I see your skeletons. I see your skeletons. I see your skeletons.
Brand new stuff right there. Grindhouse, Skeletons.
I love
Oh,
that song.
man, never gets old.
Probably one of my favorite songs by them now.
Damn.
It's like every album I have a new favorite.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, without
absolutely.
a doubt. There's a favorite on, or two or three on every album.
Oh man, I can't get it. Like, you know, like you hear a song, and the hair on the back of your neck just stands up. You're just like, damn. Ugh. I think that's one of those songs. But so shout out to Jeff Lynch, Lincoln County Metalheads, all of our boys and girls hanging out with us in the chat room and YouTube. Thank you guys so much for joining the action. We love you. And you're hanging out with Antman and my intern Siobhan. She's kicking ass. Let me tell you,
Why, thank you.
She's doing the best she can. She's got some work to do, but you know we all got work to do. So hats off to you.
Thank you, thank you.
So we got some big things to talk about, and you know we're gonna be doing some changes here to Antman Verses, and one of the changes is they told us that we needed to add camera angles. Remember that?
I do remember that.
And John was like, "What if you just put a camera like over here?"
I do remember that.
So we went ahead
What?
and we put a camera over there. So what's going on, everybody? How's you guys doing? You guys are checking out the long view of the stage and here and there and everywhere. Thank you guys for being part of the show tonight. So Siobhan, what do you have to talk about? We're gonna give you one story right off the rip.
Oh, all right. Well, so I found this interesting because, you know, they transplant all kinds of things. Well, as you know, they can also transplant penises.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. I went there. So there is a black man who's having a penis transplant, and it's a white penis that was transplanted. So he's going to have it tattooed to match
Wait,
him.
what?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So, black man, white penis, tattooing.
A Dick Parison? Is that what that's called? Is that what that's called?
I don't know, but that's what we're going to call it.
Is that? I think it's called a Dick Parison.
Oh, my.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
perfect.
That's awesome.
right
Can
off-
we hashtag
Yeah,
that?
right. Hashtag Dick Parison. Oh, man.
Yeah, so a black man who had a penis transplant will now undergo tattooing to change its color because the donor was white. The 40-year-old man lost his penis during a botched circumcision 17 years ago and last month became the world's third person to ever get such a transplant. He didn't have a choice, of course, on his donor color, if you will, because, you know, there's not a lot of people that are donating penises, apparently.
No, no. I couldn't
You know.
imagine there are.
So, you know, the only real issue is color there. So, yeah, they're gonna fix that issue, and then in about 6 months or so, they believe he'll be able to urinate standing up and have sex for the first time in 17 years.
What?
The patient says the penis is working well. He can get erections already. There are no signs of rejection. Penis rejection? I'm going to leave that one alone. And all the reconnected structures seem to be healing. So
Talk about cocks all day long, but assalicious is offensive. Absolutely. Absolutely. See, they hear me. They hear me. They totally understand me, I think. So, what if, folks, what if you were to get a likeness? I mean, would you try to get now? The funny thing is if he gets this hashtag Dick Parison, and then he goes ahead and he tries to get on the tattoo show and tries to get a cover up.
we'll see, but they actually have medical tattoo artists because it goes further and it says the medical tattoo artist said the kind of tattooing that the man needs is delicate, to say the least. You think?
Watch the balls.
I mean, really? That should be a given, I thought.
Maybe
Yeah.
a nip and tuck, Lincoln County Metalheads. Love you
Well,
guys.
he follows that up with, or she follows that up with, at least it's a chick. Even if the client was comfortable having it done in one session because of the area, I wouldn't feel safe having the entire penis healing at once. I would not tattoo all the way around. I would do lengthwise, probably 1/3 at a time, allow healing in between each session, This would take longer, but remaining healthy and safe is important too.
Now, look, let's get one thing straight. Look, I have arm tattoos. Dude, I bet everybody in my chat room right now has a fucking tattoo. Let's be
Probably.
real. So, like, we all know, like, a proper healing time for us was a couple weeks, depending on the size of the tat, and depending on what we had going on, and then the detail and all that fun shit. Whatever.
Right.
Okay, so, but you gotta think about how sensitive that skin is. When you think about heal time, like, are we talking about 9 weeks? Are we talking about, like, 12 weeks? Like,
I don't know. It doesn't say
yeah.
nothing about heal time in between.
Imagine the scabbing. Oh, God.
I mean, yeah, like and she said like a third at a time, so that's 3 sessions.
Lincoln County Metalheads, knock me out. Just put me under for
Right. I mean,
Right?
like, you know, I can't even, because if it's working properly and all of that is good, then you're gonna feel that shit.
I read an article last week. I was just scrolling while I was pooping. I don't know. You ever do that? Scroll while you poop? Like, you know, you're just looking at stuff.
comment?
And it's like, okay. Well, anyway, I know I'm not the only one that scrolls and poops.
Yes,
All
I
right.
scroll and poop.
All right. So I was scrolling and pooping, and be still my little heart, my Antman heart, when I come across a lady who has the actual Guinness Book World Records most tattoos on inner orifices.
Inner?
Yeah. So think about that for a second.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you guys hang on that for a second, and we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna pay some bills. We're gonna
I
talk
don't wanna
about
know
this
how many.
when we come back. We're gonna keep it real interesting. Coming right back. Like I said, head over to antmanvs.com. Check out my website. My social media is in the top right corner of said website. And we're trying to go for 100 subscribers. In the process, head over and get my boys, Lincoln County Metalheads, subscribed as well, because they handle all the metal on their side of the fence. I let them handle all the metal because they're the chair breaking boys. I let them bust the balls and break the heads. So we're gonna get some new music right here. And how about some Rita May? And this is off the Family Tree EP. Hope you guys like it.
Come down from them there hills, so your children can play up yonder. Oh, and me with my family, I'm sure the curse you out and hope that tomorrow you'll be my bride. Stay away from the farm to which I came. I shudder with my own two barrels, but don't you swear you're just that way. Everything I've done was in your name. Let's run run to me.
chasing that feeling wherever it leads. I've got things I want now. Yeah, I've got things I need. You're breaking my heart now, come watch it bleed. I don't know where we're going, I don't know where this leads. This won't be over till one of us bleeds. No one will move on now, no one will concede. All the long and lonely nights, all the feeling something wasn't right. Kiss you next week, something's going on, something's coming over me, I really can't explain. Kiss you next week, something's going wrong, I can't eat and I can't sleep, I really can't explain. Don't make me wait. Tomorrow or the next day might just be too late. Don't hesitate. We might be missing out on something really great. Oh, lovely lady, you're beautiful, original to me. Oh, lovely lady, I close my eyes, you're everything I see. Kiss you next week, something's going on, something's coming over me, I really can't explain. Kiss you next week, something's going wrong, I can't eat, I can't sleep, I really can't explain. Can't explain, can't explain, can't explain.
From local to national, ZTPMag.com delivers it all. Raw, beautiful, and bold. Go to ZTPMag.com today. Check out info on some of your favorite music, tech, food, and rides.
ZTP Mag has it all. I mean,
seriously, where else am I going to get that kind of info? Plus, it's all free at the touch of a finger on all my devices. It's like the people working for the mag understand what their viewers want and the importance of involving them.
You heard the lady.
Get over to ztpmag.com.
What's going on, Music Familia? Welcome back to the show. Thanks for hanging out with us. Welcome to Antman Verses. What's going on, Siobhan?
Not too much.
So how was your last week, Ben?
Aside from the weather, good.
I know that you have a personal job outside of this, so we can't name names of that said place or anything like that, but I hear it's pretty stressful over there.
It can be sometimes, but, that's with any job if you're a manager, which I am. And, then on top of it, I've got the outside stresses of my personal life. And, so it's a lot. But
Yeah.
I manage.
So what is it for you, when you go out to the music scene, you go out to a show, you go out to anything exciting, what is one of the first things that you look forward to? Like when you go out there, like what's like on your top list? What would you say when you walk in?
I would say the first thing that I'm excited for when I walk into a venue is who am I going to see there that I know that I haven't seen in a little bit, because I don't get to go out very often. And so that's always exciting because, I don't social media very well. So I find out when I'm getting there who's there and who's not. And
So for you, it's the people.
yeah, so definitely people first and in that initial moment. And then it's about the bands. And if I know the bands personally, I go and say hi to them because, they're a little busier. So they're a little harder to get a second with. But, it's everything really. But it comes in steps as you get there and walk in the door. And
It comes down to like appearance and if they have food, you kind of watch what other people are ordering and you kind of find yourself almost in a moment. You're like, I don't know. But, one of those things, I guess from being a fan standpoint and then being a venue, I guess maybe it might be two different point of views. And what I'm really getting around to is, 10 things to consider when choosing your event venue. What a lot of people talk about, it seems, is, first of all, cost, location, ambiance, services and amenities, capacity and minimums, parking, the layout, the accessibility because, the handicap need to be able to get in and out, right?
Right.
How about insurance?
See, that's something that a lot of people don't think about.
How about acoustics? Acoustics
Sure.
being top 10 on the list. That's number 10 on the list
Right.
is acoustics.
But I think this is more from a band perspective.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, those kind of things are things that bands look at. If I
Absolutely.
were thinking in the sense of like someone going in as a band or scouting out for a band or, then it would be a whole different viewpoint, and those things would be the things that I would consider and look at.
Right.
Absolutely. And the order they have them listed in, that's the most practical order as well. With my knowledge that I have of bands, which, not to toot my own horn, but it's fairly excessive. Been around them
Fairly
my whole life.
extensive, right? Yeah, right.
Literally.
Nothing to be confused with a trike being rode around the block. Like
Hey.
that's not what we're going for here. But no, when you talk about services and amenities, does the venue have a kitchen and can it provide catering to your event? Does it have tables, chairs, the linens, this and that? A lot of people don't really think about that in the venues.
It's
you
true.
know, and I've had some venue owners like actually hit me up and ask me, if you were to come into my establishment, what would you want to see? And if you have the same menu time in and time out, like a few months in a row or whatever, and it's not going to be a changing menu, at least change the paper that it's on.
Right.
At least
Do something to make it look special.
you don't want to come into the
Throw
same.
a special in there every once in a while.
You can even do a
something.
drink special with your food special.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of people mix it up and toss it up, but I want to
buy
throw
a
it out
burger,
there.
get a shot of Jaeger $1 off.
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
You could do, you can come in and do different factors, you can do a formal or a high-tech situation with that. And, high-tech meaning going for a really big bartender who can, a mixologist,
Right.
basically. And when you talk about a bartender to a mixologist, that's two different things.
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. That's like the rookie and the Jedi.
Right on. So, you know who Elton John is, right?
Oh, yes.
All right. So, I don't know if you guys heard or not, but he wasn't feeling very well. So when he made his first appearance since his hospitalization, he's starting to feel better, but he's not quite 100%. The Rocket Man singer became violently ill after contracting a potentially deadly bacterial infection during his recent South America tour. He was admitted to hospital immediately after returning from Santiago, Chile. So he basically spent some time, got sick. And, and I don't know that I really want to travel anymore. I think about it a lot, and I'm like, I don't know that I want to. The price you pay for your passport and what you pay to go overseas,
Right.
and then what you pay for your doctor bills when you come home.
Right.
That's like a whole nother.
Well, it depends on where you go, though. There are still some places you can go, like, Ireland, for example. If you go to the right place in Ireland, you can go and come back and probably avoid that.
Right. He canceled a series of Las Vegas shows so he could take some time to recover at home, but he returned to the public eye at the Cannes Film Festival in France on Monday. And he unveiled to the winners his YouTube competition, Elton John The Cut. So Elton told people at the event that he was in good health, assuring them he was feeling very well, and told fans waiting outside the venue, I feel good. I feel all right. I think I'll be good. He's doing good, his partner David Furnish said. And according to what we've heard from the Daily Mirror newspaper, he's made a great recovery. He's been looking after him, and he's been a good patient. So he's behaving, listening to the hubby, which I think anybody should do in a situation like that.
Absolutely.
Follow the spouse's advice.
So I got a funny story that relates to this in multiple ways. So I'm totally going to bust my own balls here. Everybody's going to love this. So picture me like 6 years old, 7 years old, very inquisitive. And, I asked questions all the time, and I got into things. And my dad had old 45 records, and he had records and a record player. And I loved to go through his records and, play them. And he had an Elton John record, and I looked at my dad. I picked the album up. I looked at him, and I said, he looks gay. And my dad, God love him, he tried so hard not to laugh. He goes, well, that's probably because he is a man. I had no idea. I was so young. So, yeah. So, records, Elton John. Yeah, just figured I'd throw that in there so everybody could make fun of me.
You know what though? I didn't know George Michael was.
I mean, there's a lot of
like there are very, very well kept, I don't know, gay people out there, or
I mean, yeah, there are,
and I have to tread
plenty.
carefully with the wordage so I don't offend anybody, because I know I can be offensive.
Just a little.
So I don't want to offend anybody. So, but no, it's always interesting to hear about new things. And one thing, have you ever been to a music con?
I have not.
Have you heard about it?
I have, but I've never been.
It's one of the biggest pop culture phenomenons of our lifetime. And it's been the Comic-Con conventions. It's like the music Comic-Con on steroids.
Right.
Like, ish. So it started in 1970. And that's something pretty awesome. I just got a notification for it that they actually were doing a huge thing May 20th. It was May 20th in Sternbridge, Massachusetts. And it was pretty awesome. I guess the attraction with the biggest buzz was actor and singer Corey Feldman. And so he was up there. That was pretty interesting. Chips and go ahead. Here you go. Chips Enough. There you go. From the rock band Enough's Enough was up there as well. And Don Dokken was up there as well. And let's see, Stephen Percy from Rat was up there.
Oh, wow.
Like, there was a lot of big names up there, man.
That's
And,
awesome.
yeah. And, you know, one of the biggest things about it is, like, the monumental appreciation for music wide-ranging and how important it is to know where you've been and know where you're going. Do you think that music in the local scene has that kind of a problem these days?
In some respects.
What do you think the biggest problem for the local music scene is, on your point of view? Because I know, you know, you got two different points of view.
It's true.
That I don't have.
It's true. I have that fan point of view, but I also have the, like, you know, like I said, I've been in and out of bands and around bands my whole life. I've, you know, helped out with things. I've done a lot of stuff, and I think a lot of it's actually not just ultimately one thing. I think it's a combination of things that create a problem for bands. I think that it's a lack of motivation, dedication, or discipline for bands and or band members, and then it's also a issue with the fans and that whole I don't really want to put my money out because I have a bill to pay, or I work really hard and I really just want to take a night to me and not go out. I know I should go out and see the band, but I really just need a break. Because a lot of us do that, I think.
You think some people use it as an excuse, though?
I think some do, probably.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Not as many. Like, I know every once in a while, I just have to say, you know what, I gotta stand. And I mean, you know, there are ultimately other things as well. The venues are not as great as they used to be. I don't know. There's just a lot of contributing factors, I think, to why local bands are having it a little rougher than they were 5 years ago, even.
You know, the idea that you have to balance multiple hats more so than you did. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I think the whole focus on new music, relevancy, plus social media, and I don't think, I think sometimes the venues cut the artist out. Like, they'll pigeonhole an artist. If an artist or a band, say a musician comes in and says, "Hey, I want to write, or I want to be the house band, or, you know, artist," and then he falls off, he's not successful, but joins another band, and this is a 4-piece and not a 2-piece or a 3-piece or anything like that, or even a solo act, the likelihood that that bar or that venue would take on all 4,
Right.
as opposed to just take the solo artist.
Right.
You know, you're starting to see a lot of the solo artists being able to swoop in and grab shows, and that's because not only are they bringing original stuff, but they also have they've taken the time to hone their skills, this and that. I think there's a lot of give me it right now mentality, like entitlement.
Oh, definitely.
And I think entitlement, after a certain point, once it gets to a line, it becomes no longer entitlement, you know, and it becomes something totally different, and it becomes that total thing that we all don't like and we all hate. And I think that's where people start hanging stuff up.
Yeah, I think you're right on that.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
I don't know. I've been doing some thinking about it, and one of my friends, you know, the reason why I brought it up is because one of my friends was in a conversation with me last week about it. We were talking briefly about it, and it was one thing that just came up. But so we're gonna get into some new music here. We got some weather coming up here in a little bit. We're gonna talk about a pro football player that passed away. And we're going to talk about the Chris Cornell funeral coming up this Friday. And fill you guys in the details about that. And
also Trump.
yeah, we're going to talk about Trump as well.
Because, we can't not talk about Trump. It's like everybody either loves him or hates him, but everybody's talking about him in the end, so he really gets what he wants.
We're also going to talk about the boy who came home from school and found out that his dad had been deported.
What?
So we're going to talk about that coming up in a little bit. Make sure you go over to antmanvs.com, check out my social media, and give us a like. I want to give a shout-out to all my sponsors, Cold Cock Whiskey, coldcockwhiskey.com/store. Take your shot today. ztpmag.com. Columbus Botanical Depot, cbdhemphealth.com. My man Joe, I love you, Joe. You're a lifesaver, man, and I know that you're saving a bunch of other lives. And you're helping my wife, and you're helping me, so I appreciate you. And you're helping Siobhan, so that's pretty awesome. And our man Dave Sheets has come to you, so from me to you, man, thank you so much, Joe. Appreciate you. We're going to get some new music here. We'll be right back.
All that forgive you.
someone to share my hopes and dreams. There she stands in a gypsy dress, barefoot and wicked smile. Oh, of the song she sings, holds the dreams of men. Of the song she sings, holds the dreams of men.
memories of battles past. Their bodies faded, yet our hearts they'll ever last. They've kept their promises as they gave their very lives. These are the things that I despise. Oh, I despise.
Dread Engine, Ghost. I love that stuff right there. One of the new bands out of the Columbus area. What do you think, Siobhan?
I love Dread Engine.
Yeah.
They're a great
What'd you think
band.
the first time you saw that angry ginger Sam Stockdale on stage?
I'm just shocked that he can move around like that and still keep his place of where he is in the song. Like, the way he's jumping around, I'm surprised he doesn't lose his place. Or run out of breath to a point where he can't, continue.
And he's a cigarette smoker, too.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, running out of breath, it wouldn't, yeah, like, more power to you, man.
Lots of singing in the shower.
Something.
The ginger Wheaties has kicked in for that man. So you had a story you wanted to talk
And
about.
Monty says that's an old school Dread Engine song.
It is. It is. Thanks, Monty, for that. Yes. So you had a story you want to talk about.
I did. So, because everybody loves to hate or love Trump, one of the two. But everybody's talking about him.
Grab him by her pussy. Sorry. Still on that kick.
I know, right? So the most recent thing, one of the most recent things with Trump is, of course, the budget. Exactly. Yeah. So I wanted to talk about that. So his 4.1 trillion taxpayer first, and just so those of you who can't see the video, there are quotations around the taxpayer first, just so you know. Budget to Congress on Tuesday that administration officials touted as satisfying several campaign promises, including a boost in military spending and deep cuts in domestic programs that will help erase the federal deficit in 10 years. So,
are we already at like an impossible number? How are we gonna bounce back from that? I thought it was already a non-figurable number.
I feel like it's all just numbers, and it's all just a way to make us feel like we have no control. I'm just saying. But anyways,
we have no control.
We look at this budget through the eyes of the people who are actually paying the bills. Director Mulvaney told reporters. The 62-page budget calls for $668 billion in defense spending, a 10% increase from 2016, and $44.1 billion for Homeland Security, in addition to $1.6 billion for Trump's promised border wall, and a $214 million increase in funding for immigration enforcement. Mulvaney said construction of the wall along the U.S.-Mexico remains in Trump's top 3 list of priorities, along with more money for defense. Trump's big ask on military spending is accompanied by a request for $20 billion for a new nationwide paid parental leave program and infrastructure investment of $200 billion, both of which would be paid out over the next 10 years. That's a lot of money. A lot of money.
That's a stupid amount of money right
there.
There.
And the Trump administration estimates that the budget will reduce the federal spending by $3.6 trillion over the next decade, more than half of which would stem from cuts to non-defense discretionary spending programs and entitlement reform. He also wants to slice the food stamps program known as SNAP by $190 billion.
I knew that.
In Medicaid cuts in the president's budget, and for assuming that the U.S. economy can reach a sustained period of 3%
He's going to have a hell of a
growth.
time trying to pass anything like that by anybody.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Like, it's no wonder no wonder people are talking about impeaching you.
You
I
know,
mean, really.
Did you see the whole thing when him and his wifey got off the plane yesterday?
Oh, yeah, where she told him to shut the fuck up without saying it.
I mean,
oh my God.
I don't know if it was all that.
Oh, no. As a female, you know. Like, if you have ever been in a serious relationship, you know the SWAT, the wrist SWAT.
No, don't touch
like,
me.
The don't touch me, get away from me, I'm mad at you. Oh, yeah, no. She was furious. Guarantee it. That was the don't touch me. That was instantaneous. Yeah, no. You don't flip your wrist
so.
like that unless you're pissed.
Yeah, I mean, it was a subtle flip, but I mean, he didn't even. It's a good thing
They
he didn't
caught it
stop
on camera.
It's probably a good thing he didn't stop and acknowledge it. She might have slapped the taste out of his mouth.
There's a good chance with that kind of commitment behind that wrist flick. Yeah, I would say so.
So, among other things, what would you do if you came home and your parents, like, if you went to school and then you came home and your parents were gone? Flat out. Gone. Like, you know, everything's gone.
I'd probably flip my shit.
So, Joel Macy came home from school last week only to realize something was drastically different. His father was no longer around. Reno Massey of Muchin, New Jersey, was deported back to his native country of Indonesia, a place he fled 16 years ago because of religious persecution. Now Joel is going to grow up without a father in the U.S. where he was born. He still finds it hard to accept this. He's been with him for 13 years because I was born with him, of course, and for those 13 years, he's been kind, happy, and loving. That's what Joel reported to one of the local TV outlets in the area. He's pretty upset about the whole situation. They've been fighting for the past week and a half for his dad to stay, but alas, he lost this battle. Reno Massey is in China. Is a Chinese Christian who lived in Indonesia, but missed a deadline to apply for amnesty shortly after his arrival in the U.S. After he overstayed his tourist visa, Macy was ordered to leave the country in 2006. However, the Reformed Church of Highland Park struck a deal with Immigration and Customs Enforcement to allow him three other Indonesian-born Christians stays of removal if they checked in with ICE every year. But this year, ICE took the men into custody when they reported to check in. As soon as they walked in the door, they took him into custody.
Damn.
And on May 18th, an immigration judge ordered that Macy and the others be deported. And the spokesperson for ICE released a statement. Reno Massey, who was a visa overstay, was ordered removed on July 17, 2006 by an immigration judge with the Department of Justice Executive Office of Immigration Review. After exhausting all legal remedies, on May 18th, ICE enforcement and removal officers removed Reno Massey to Indonesia. So, and it turns out that it's going to be a very hard-pressed battle, especially with this new Trump administration. They've broadened the scope of those subjects to deportation to include people such as Massey who don't have criminal records. So that's in his favor. But still, to be uprooted last minute. He complied and did everything that he needed to do except for missing a deadline. However, I find it hard to give him any sympathy because it was in 2006. What were you doing for the last however many years that you are forgetting to check in or report or file paperwork?
Well, no, it said he was, well, maybe.
Right.
I mean, we don't really know. It doesn't say specifically.
It doesn't give specifics.
But, I think it's more about the fact of Trump being in office and the changes that have been made, which is why he suddenly no longer had this deal with ICE to where he can just come and check in. Hey, how you doing? I'm still good. All right, I'm still good. See you later.
Right.
See you next year.
Yeah. The immigration attorneys arguing to legal authorities that Massey needs to come back to America to be with his son Joel and be able to take care of him.
How old is his son? It said 11, right?
11, yeah.
You know,
he may have a hard time explaining to what's happening to Joel, because the kid's so young, he might not even understand. What the gentleman says is, what I don't understand is why he's being deported. That's what Joel had said to the news station. He's been cooperative. He's hasn't done anything against the law. He's got a clear record, and he's not affiliated with any negative religious groups in the community. I don't understand what the problem
Still
is.
illegal, though.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't say, oh, you're an illegal terrorist, you gotta go. You might be an illegal terrorist, you gotta go. Oh, you're an illegal father and you do what you're supposed to. Yeah, you can stay. It's okay. Like, you can't do that. It's not, not if you want to, like, not have people impeach you, which, just be one more reason, but.
So I don't know if you guys live in the Columbus area or not, or if you guys live in the neighboring areas, man, but I'll give you guys our 5 to 10 day forecast when we come back after this. We're going to pay some bills, show some respect to our Columbus Botanical Depot. Check them out, cbdhemphealth.com. My man Joe for all your CBD needs over there. ztpmagazine.com. Check them out. Raw, Beautiful, Bold. The best place for raw, beautiful, bold is ztpmag.com, I have to say. And coolcockwhiskey.com/store to take your shot today. I want to give a shout out to all my boys and girls, Lincoln County Metalheads in the chat room, Monty Brown, Siobhan, thank you so much. And
Of course.
looks like Jennifer's in there as well. And my man, Mr. Lynch, thank you so much for being part of the action tonight. When we come back after this, we're going to talk about the Chris Cornell funeral coming up on Friday. And we're also going to give you that 5-10 day forecast. All right, guys, we'll see you guys right back here in a couple minutes.
When I see you, oh baby, when I see you, you got those eyes that they show what you've been through, and what you've been through. Oh baby, what you've been through. It ain't no place that I'm trying to take you. I'm trying to show you. Oh baby, I want to show you all those good that love can do. But if you don't want me to stay, well, we can go our separate ways, and I can pack up my things and go. But if I could only stay, well, I would show you that true love way, and we could keep this train rolling on. All right.
ZTP Magazine World Premiere.
I love it when the system decides to play what it wants to play, when it wants to play, how it wants to play. So, what I'm going to do, instead of doing that, I'm going to do this. I'm going to give you something even better right here. Some Gudger. Spark it up. I know. You were just getting on me about that. Welcome back to the show, guys. Siobhan here is just making a good point, but I was doing it for Matt, who was listening in Jersey, and he asked for it.
Fair enough.
But you're
What
right,
up, Matt?
I do. Yeah, I do. But that's exactly. I know. So we're gonna be working on that. So we got some new stuff coming up in a little bit, but before we do, so you guys know about Chris Cornell's passing over the last week. I'm sure you guys know. And you guys, if you guys went to Rock on the Range, you guys probably saw the tribute. But if you also went to Rock on the Range, you guys also know that Soundgarden didn't play.
Right.
So, but the late Chris Cornell, he's going to be laid to rest on Friday at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery in a private service. So basically, Cornell's body was found early last Thursday morning in his hotel room at the MGM Grand in Detroit, Michigan. He had just finished a performance with Soundgarden and was found by a band security guard after his wife became alarmed during a phone call. Cornell had committed suicide by hanging himself. Toxicology tests are being run to determine the level of drugs in his system. Specifically, they are looking for the level of Ativan, which the singer may have double dosed in the hours before his death. An overdose of Ativan can cause suicidal thoughts. Singer's body was transported to Los Angeles on Sunday, and the Hollywood Forever Cemetery is one of the oldest in Los Angeles and is the final resting place of such other musicians, performers, and executives as Dee Dee Ramone, Johnny Ramone, Kim Fowley, Gidget Gein of Marilyn Manson, Judy Garland, Nelson Riddle, Nelson Eddy, Woody Herman, and Art Pepper, along with such Hollywood greats as Douglas Fairbanks, Peter Lorre, Janet Gaynor, and Rudolph Valentino, and Mickey Rooney as well, just to name a few. So he's going to be in good hands.
I knew I recognized that when you said Ativan. I had to look it up to be sure, but it's lorazepam.
Right.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, it's a sedative. It can treat seizure disorders such as epilepsy. It can also be used for seizure and medical procedures to relieve anxiety, but it is a controlled substance and can cause paranoia and suicidal ideation, impair memory, judgment, and coordination. Combined with other substances like particularly alcohol, can slow breathing and possibly lead to death. But it may treat drug withdrawal, agoraphobia, and insomnia, just to name a few.
Now, it's well known that Chris, along with many other artists and musicians, struggled from alcoholism, drug abuse, a number of other things. And that's no secret.
Right.
But, I mean, so fat. It's amazing. Like, okay, I get caught up about it emotionally because I saw an interview with just somebody, a random person, and he said it best. He said, really, it is like Soundgarden was a soundtrack of my life, of our lives at that time. If you think back to it, I mean, Black Hole Sun and a number of those other songs were influential in what they did and how they did it, to you.
True.
Depending on what you had going on in your life at the time, And I think back to what I had going on in my time at that time, and I'm just like, damn, and you think about, you just don't know what's going on in somebody else's head. You have no idea what skeleton somebody else has, so, but that brings up a good point. So I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong, and in the last week I was able to successfully piss off my significant other to the point where she wanted to leave. And so I know my significant other is listening out there, so I wanted to make sure that I tell my significant other, that, at the end of the day, nothing is more important than you. And I love you and I appreciate you and all the support that you do and what you've done and how you've been there for me. And for me to have a complete lapse of judgment in an insecurity moment was wrong. So I just want to publicly apologize, like, to my girl when she listens to this podcast. Love you, girl. But
So I gotta say, cause I know your wifey, and you know, knowing her and hearing that kind of an apology, you're probably lucky she didn't dick punch you, to say the least. I'm surprised you don't have a pistol imprint on your face.
No, like she knows what I mean. I don't get all mushy on the air and stuff like that. But she knows how much she means to me. She knows that she's important. And I can't get all like wah-wah on the show. But, and won't do that. But, just...
I'm sure she appreciates it nonetheless.
The mistake was made, and I have no problem admitting that a mistake was made, but a mistake was was cleaned up and very, very quickly remedied. So, in result, will make us a better, happier us in the end of the day anyway. So, and also, I'm not too proud to admit that I ended up having to get some anger management scheduled. So I'm going to go to anger management classes. I want to go to some counseling classes, try to work on myself, try to get a little bit better before the baby comes home. Got to be in the right frame of mind, right, boys and girls? But
it's important.
So, anyways, enough about me. We got some douchebag criminals coming up. We have this awesome weather coming up here in the next few days, boys and girls. I don't know if you guys live in the area that I live in, but if you live in Columbus, Ohio, or in the central Ohio area, if you don't like it, just wait 5 minutes. I mean, really, honestly. But for the next 3 days, it's really going to be touch and go. They're looking at tonight, it's going to be cloudy, going to be 59, and going to have about 20% chance of rain. Looking at tomorrow, going to be thunderstorms and rain all day. High of 69, low of 58. And easterly wind is going to be 10 degrees, going 10 miles an hour. About 10 degrees east-southeast. So it's going to be fun weather for you guys. Make sure you pack an umbrella for the next 2 days because you're going to have PM rain on Thursday. 68 degrees, low of 56. And on Friday, it's going to be cloudy. So, I mean, if you're wanting to get that car washed, if you're like me and already went and got your car washed, you're probably pretty pissed off right now. I'm pretty pissed off right now. But it's free, so I'm not really butthurt.
I was going to say, but let's be honest. You already done told me you get it for free. So, perks of the dealership, I guess.
Something like that. Yeah, perks of something. So we got some birthdays coming up here shortly. We got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Some more douchebag criminals coming up closer to 10 o'clock. What time is it? 9:23? Yeah.
And one of those douchebag criminals happens to be from Ohio.
Oh, man. So
we find them every once in a while that,
I know you're not a huge sports fan, Siobhan, but I think my boy Monty might be. But I don't know if did you check that out, man. Looks like Seahawks icon and Hall of Famer Cortez Kennedy died at 48. And he's an icon that played for Seattle Seahawks. He was inducted into the Pro Bowl Hall of Fame in 2012, and he died at the age of 48. And it looks like he died on Tuesday. He died this afternoon. And they're going to investigate and get more information about this former defensive tackle's death. And they'll have more information, coming. But
48?
48.
Wow.
And so did you see that? Oh, man. Did you see Giselle Bundchen talking about Tom Brady's concussion?
Excuse me. Oh, yeah.
So
I caught a glimpse of that on TV.
Up.
Yeah.
She finally fucked up. And I was wondering, there's no way that he's had injury after injury with his knee and everything.
Right.
It was inevitable that he had a concussion. I was just waiting for confirmation, and that is exactly what I needed. But they're tough mofos, man. They are. Look, to get paid that kind of money and get sacked that fucking hard.
Right.
I'm just saying. I've never had the chance. I stood next to Tom Brady at Michigan University, and he's put on some since then. So I mean, he was pretty big then, and I don't know. I think about what it takes to take a guy like that down, and I'm like, man, whatever. I guess it really is true about that whole predator scale, like the damn. So what kind of sports are you into, Siobhan? Like, we need to figure out, boys and girls, we need to figure out what this chick is into. She's gonna be on this podcast.
I do actually like sports. I enjoy football, but only when it's my team. If it's another team, I could give a shit less. I'm a different kind of fan. I like the teams that I like, and I watch the teams that I like, and beyond that, I don't care too much.
So not fair.
I mean, that it is what it is, though. Like, well,
that's like an Ohio State fan saying they only like Ohio State football, and
I hate Ohio State. By the way. But yeah, I know. I'm a monster. How could I?
You have to explain
okay,
why.
so I do actually have a very legitimate reason as to why I hate Ohio State. And it's like, honestly, I don't necessarily hate Ohio State as a team. I just don't really care for Ohio State fans typically. Because I used to live just off of campus. So
couch burning land.
Yeah. So every game day, I had to leave extra early for work because they shut down the on-ramp for my exit to the freeway, entrance to the freeway. So there was that. And sometimes they would shut down some of the side streets or like block certain parts of them off. So I had to go, even more roundabout to get to work. And then there was that whole thing of I could hear the stadium from my house. And, then, like you said, couch fires. Need I say more?
So, what... Are you excited? Did you see your draft picks by chance?
I did not yet, actually, because I got a new phone, and when I got my new phone, I forgot to put the app back on, my app that I use, CBS app or something like that. So yeah, I actually have to do that.
So it's actually gonna look pretty good. You guys, Roethlisberger is gonna do pretty good this year, I think. As long as he keeps his rape shoulder to himself.
There it is. I was waiting for it.
And, rushing yards, man, you got Le'Veon Bell still. You got Brown, you got Timmons, you got Shazier.
You should be good.
So, I mean,
you should be good.
Yeah, it's not like you really lost really anybody.
Yeah,
My team went through significant changes.
That's what I thought.
Like massive changes.
That's what I thought.
Even in the office, some shit changed. I'm really not happy about it. I hope it doesn't disrupt the game. And, by the way, they took the overtime down to 10 minutes now. Instead of the overtime being 20, like the full reg, they took it down to 10 minutes.
Sorry.
You're good.
Well, that's... We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah. Like...
The refs need to get their heads out of their asses this year.
Yeah. I don't even want to talk about that.
We're going to get this new song right here. Since you're always busting my balls about playing something, different.
Are we going to get something different?
Yes, this song's called Bloodhound, and this is from Cast Aside. Hope you guys like it.
She says she knows my name, but I don't know her face.
ZTP Magazine world premiere.
Douchebag Criminals is coming up in a little bit, but before that, 5 surprising things you didn't know about your immune system. Cracks me up, man, because, you know, I never really paid much attention to it when I was younger. I don't know about you. You seem like you're a health nut. You're always drinking water, so.
I mean, I'm not a health nut like most
Says the
people.
vegan, or the hash vegan. How does it work? Halftime?
Okay, so I'm not like most people think of health nut. Like, I don't, honestly, I don't exercise. Like, my exercise is I get off my ass and do things like around my house, you know, dishes, etc., laundry. That's my exercise. Like, that's all I got time for.
Better tell your boyfriend you better get on the bedroom then, because that was supposed to be like your first response. Like, boom. He must be.
I don't even have time for that right now. I'm a new mother. Like, pumping takes up 90% of my day, and when I'm not doing pumping, I'm doing other things. So, you know, because, like, I've got to pump 8 times a day. I don't even make it nice, like, 90% of the days, but, you know, yeah, ain't nobody got time for that.
Wow. Poor hubby. So, you know, 5 things that most people don't know about your immune system would be, starting with number 5, probably. Antibodies are microscopic infantry. When your body detects germs and foreign substances that elicit an immune response, it may trigger the creation of antibodies. And, you know, the funny thing about, like, a lot of people are always like, I always wondered, man, what that one thing's called. What, like, spleen? I think that, yeah. Well, I found it. Yes, you can live without your spleen. A spleen is one of the largest lymphatic organs in the body and works to clean your blood of viruses, bacteria, and other illness agents. Located behind your stomach and under your diaphragm, this multi-purpose organ filters defective red blood cells as well as stores white blood cells that can produce antibodies. The spleen grows temporarily when your body is fighting an infection, but if it ruptures, it has to be removed or you're gonna die. Though you can live without your spleen, it's easier to stay in optimal health with it, according to the Mayo Clinic. Your immune system has a lot of built-in redundancies, says one doctor from the Mayo Clinic. And, you know, in most cases, if there are deficiencies, there are also workarounds. So you can get around without your spleen.
Yeah, they definitely say that, you know, unless you have to get it removed, that you should try to keep it, but...
The thymus gland has a prime time. That's number 3. Much like a high school prom king, your thymus sees its best days and is in prime condition during your youth. And the thymus is located behind your sternum and in between your lungs. It's responsible for producing an important type of white blood cell called T lymphocytes, or T cells. So that's also number 2. The gut acts as gatekeeper. So the largest part of your immune system is your gut, or your gastrointestinal tract, for all those big geeks out there who want to Google that shit. But I just thought it was interesting, man, because, you know, there's a lot of things you just don't know about your body. And, you know, the number one thing that I really wanted to get to in this whole thing, in these top 5, is that your immune system can course correct itself.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, because there are times when I've thought I was getting sick and then, like, you know, it just kind of got better, went away.
Your immune system is designed to work behind the scenes to keep you healthy. For most healthy people, the immune system adapts to change by responding to new germs like bacteria, viruses, and parasites every day. This constant exposure to new germs allows our immune system to learn as they go, building immunities day to day. However, in rare cases, people with chronic immune conditions like primary immunodeficiency. Yay!
You did it!
have a defective immune system. Basically, is like in big words, and a lot easier to get sick. So I don't know, man. I think it's really important to wash your hands, parents.
Well, yeah.
It all starts with the kids.
I mean, you definitely can't like expect not to get sick if you don't do the things that are known to help prevent getting sick.
But the whole reason why I read this whole annoying top 5 list is because it goes to that kid that I was at Walmart. Look, I went to Wally World today to go and get some extenders for the podcast.
Oh, Wally World.
And when I was in Wally World, this kid runs by me with a sucker. And he is running by and he's flailing it around, and I don't know, I guess being a father, like I'm starting to get dad sight where I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna happen. I foresee this happening.
Did you dad out for a second?
And I did, and I watched as I witnessed the sucker before it hit me. I knew it was going to touch my shirt. I knew it. This kid's going to come by and he's going to touch my damn shirt with this freaking sucker, and I'm going to go nuts. Well, he come by and he did. He touched my shirt with the sucker, and he's like, oh, sorry, mister. And he turned and...
I mean, at least he apologized.
And he was like, yeah, okay, it was cool. But, like, he did it a second time when you come by. And, you know, I conceal carry, right? So he's running by me the second time, and I have my back to the corner of the rack. So when he comes around the corner, he runs into my hip and runs into the side of my gun. And it knocked him down in the aisle.
Well...
Who's to fault?
Lesson learned.
The parents gave me the look.
I mean, you let your kid run around like a hooligan and he ran into somebody and got hurt and fell down. That's his own fault. You should have been watching your kid, and you should have snatched him up before he got it to a point where he could run into somebody. But then again, I also come from, as you can tell, my parents were not afraid. Well, one of my parents was not afraid to snatch me up. Let me rephrase.
I love that
I
commercial.
won't call them out.
I love that Chevy commercial where they're talking about mom now has eyes in the back of the
Yeah, I
head.
mean, basically. Yeah, exactly. Like, that was my parents.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know, you never really, it seemed like even if you had a big sedan or a big grocery getter, you could never escape the hand. You were never too far to the back of the car to escape the hand.
Now, see, we had a van, but as
Down
long
by
as...
the river. Yes. But don't.
Yeah, so we did have a van, and it was one of the big vans, you know, with the seats, and yeah. So I mean, mom would have to not be the one
Chevy
driving.
or Ford? Or Chrysler?
It was a Chevy, actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a Chevy.
Right
I'm
on.
pretty sure it was Chevy. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, now if it was all of us, all of the kids, and you know, mom and stepdad, mom was not afraid at all to get up out the seat and come to the back of the van and find you at all. Like, what'd you say? Oh shit.
Right.
You nowhere to run. Like, you're not going anywhere when you're on the freeway headed to Allen. No.
You know, you know, it's the whole thing about just the old-fashioned parts of life, man. Don't you miss it? Like, I don't know. It goes back to the whole old school thing of things are changing. Pretty soon we already have Google and Uber and just general people trying to fight for the rights to drive us places, you know? And so, I mean, we're not too far from the Jetsons, I don't think.
I mean, yeah. Possibility.
Yeah. Is it one of those things that you think it's just gonna creep up on us, or?
I think actually it's more like is it Wall-E? I'm testing my knowledge here of children's films, but I think it's Wall-E, the one where they're all
Yep.
sitting in the and they just get carted around, and I feel like that's what we're headed toward. Absolutely. You've got delivery food, you've got I mean, they're pretty much delivery grocery at this point. There are some that do it. You order your groceries and they put it in your car for you. Like, you have all of these things already. So, I mean, and they're already working on self-driving cars. I mean, that's very, very close. So, yeah,
Disgustingly close.
It's kind of discomforting in a way that we've come that far from, I'm an 80s kid, so we've come that far from even just what we were in the 80s.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it like huge technological advances. And again, like, I mean, when I was a kid, our biggest thing with the president was he was getting his dick sucked under the table.
I remember the wall coming down. I remember the whole speech about take this wall down. Like, I remember that. And then I remember some of the craziest things I remember as a kid. I remember Waco. I remember the first Oklahoma bombing. I remember, I remember hearing about Dimebag Darrell getting killed before, like, I ever knew about Columbus, Ohio, or knew about the Alarosa Villa as a venue. I didn't know about the venue until I heard about the death of, and then I was like, oh. And then I wanted to know about the place that he passed away at, because was it memorable, or was it did he go out the way he would have wanted to go out? That's what I wanted to know, And I read his book, or read a book that was published, and in that book it talked a lot about that stuff. But you think about just last night at the Grande concert, at the Ariana Grande concert, those people getting bombed there, and
it's
they're
crazy.
but the news and the publications make it sound like it's a new thing,
Right.
And I mean,
I guess the only difference with this is that the people attending were younger. They were actually like children, teenagers.
Oh yeah, they were teenagers and kids.
Teenagers and kids. So I think that's where the big thing about it is, and trying to like really, make a big deal more so than what it would be. And
actually thousands of people gathered in Manchester, England, in Albert Square, actually this evening, in memory of dozens killed and wounded Monday night's terror attack, and waving posters featuring the phrase "I Heart Manchester," and that actually hashtagged and went worldwide, and they listened to Lord Mayor Eddie Newman honor emergency service workers who rushed to the scene, and according to The Guardian, what began as polite clapping turned into thunderous applause, whooping and whistling. And thoughts and prayers to everybody out there, man. There's still a huge list of people who haven't been found or tracked down yet. So thoughts and prayers to all of them out there, man, as we go home to our families and our loved ones, and we make those calls. And I think it's really just another example of how for granted sometimes we really take things, and how important it is to look at the ones you love and the things you have in your life, and cherish those things, and keep in mind that those things might not be gone. So might not be there tomorrow when you wake up. They could be gone. 3 things that my grandfather used to say to me. One thing was, never carry Monday into Tuesday, never go to bed mad, and always tell them you love them.
I think those are very good things to live by, definitely.
And I try to live by those things as much as I can. So, basically, that's kind of what the whole Music Familia thing's all about, man. That's why we're trying to do this whole thing at Antman VS, and trying to get Antman Verses off the ground. And Music Familia Productions is here for you guys. And we are also doing advertising and sponsorship and stuff like that. So if you want to be part of the action, you guys can do that as well. And But we have Douchebag Criminals coming up here to close the show. We're
Yeah,
going to
we
get some awesome new music coming up right here from the Never Heard From folder as the new girl complains. So I'm going to just grab something here. It's from Bad Meow, and it's called I'm So Over. Here you go. Brand new stuff. Antman Verses.
You take it back, I'm on my back, I love you more. You clear the smoke, you let some fall, and for the time, I'm so over, I'm so over, I'm so so impressed with silver and gold. I hate it all. It's clearly all. You leave me cold. I'm so over. I'm so over. I'm so over.
Cold Cock American Herbal Flavored Whiskey. At Cold Cock, we believe life is about taking your shot. It's about sharing your soul with the people who care to listen, not selling it to whoever will buy it. At Cold Cock, we also believe fine spirits are truly about celebrating the greatest moments in life with true friends. And that's what we strive to put into every bottle of Cold Cock American Herbal Flavored Whiskey. So here's our best wish to whatever you raise your glass for. Take your shot. Cold Cock American Herbal Flavored Whiskey. Must be 21 to drink. And please, drink responsibly.
The concrete's glistening and the glare is awful. You can't see your screen. Submit
Some American pinup right there. Radio. Good stuff.
Good stuff, yes.
Something different for your complaining ass.
Why, thank you.
Hey, Rick. What's going on, man? Shout out to you in the YouTube chat room, man. Thank you for joining the show. I know, man, you were working late making that money. That's what you need to do, bro. You need to make that money.
Gotta make that money.
So, our man Rick is hanging out inside the chat room with us on YouTube, and you can be too for the last couple of minutes of the show. But if you're missing this show, then, he said they don't give me a mic. Aww. Aw, yeah, but see, you gotta slap that bass. That's your voice. You gotta slap that bass.
Exactly.
You know? So, anyway, man, so we are getting ready to get off the airwaves here for this Tuesday show. But our man Rick was informing us that there's gonna be a group show going on this weekend at the Bethel Road Pub. And our boys from Lincoln County Metalheads are going to be there. Our man Rick's going to be there. And we're going to take Siobhan out. This is going to be Siobhan's first on-air personality review of a show. So we're going to have her bring her little iPad full of notes. She's going to take some notes from the show, some things she likes, some things she doesn't like. And then we're going to, well, you'll see. I guess you'll see Thursday night. 8 o'clock, 8 to 10. But in the meantime, Douchebag Criminals, sponsored by ZTB Magazine and Music Familiar Productions. What do you got, Siobhan?
So I got one for Ohio this time. So
I love it when we find ones from our
we
own.
found one from the home state.
Ones that share the same air.
So a man was arrested after telling cops that a child porn site tried to extort him.
Wait, what?
Yes. So, an Ohio man was arrested after telling investigators he was being extorted by a child porn site he visited for thousands of dollars, police said. Julius May, 22, told Twinsburg cops he was targeted by the vile site, which he said sent him an email threatening to give police his personal details and viewing history if he didn't send $5,000, according to the Summit County Sheriff's Office. Mays later admitted to visiting the child porn site and downloading child pornography from other sites as well. He was arrested Friday on charges of pandering sexual-oriented matter involving a minor.
We gotta get you better at that.
Well, it's the allergies. Like, it's just, I can't help it. You know, like, when we get to wintertime, it'll be a little better. They're not as bad then. Pollen counts are really high right now. They're killing me. But he was arrested Friday on the charges of pandering sexually oriented matter involving a minor, second-degree felony. Additional charges could be filed in the case, sheriff said. Mays was slated to be released from Summit County Jail after posting bail on Monday. His name did not appear on the jail's inmate roster as of Tuesday.
Wow.
So, good old child porn lover from Ohio.
I got one. I want to close the show with this because I know what a fan you are of these.
Oh, well,
Siobhan.
well, then let me get this other, because I had a number one douchebag criminal for the day.
Man dies after eating gas station's nacho cheese sauce. So, you guys know that 1 out of 10 people sickened last month by the tainted batch of nacho cheese that was from California gas station has died. Health officials said Monday. Martin Galindo, 37-year-old father of 2, died after contracting foodborne disease botulism. His father shared on the GoFundMe page after it was created for him and his family. But tests have meanwhile confirmed that the cheese product supplied at the Valley Oak Food and Gas Station in Walnut Grove, Sacramento County, contained a toxin that causes botulism, which is spread through contaminated food or water, according to California's Department of Public Health on Monday. So that's crazy. What you got?
Excuse me. And that's why you don't eat gas station nacho cheese.
Right, exactly.
Like, come on now.
And I've never,
ever.
I don't even
like,
eat nacho
ever.
cheese.
Yeah, no, it's gross anyway. But yeah, so the douchebag criminal of the day, sicko wanted for hurling semen at women in supermarkets.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Hurling semen
yes.
at women.
Hurling semen at women in supermarkets, as in I'm gonna throw cum on you, bitch. So police are searching for a creep accused.
Shoot your eye out.
Police are searching for a creep accused of hurling semen on women in Portland supermarkets. The man allegedly follows female customers around the grocery stores, throws semen on them, and then walks away. One victim said that he threw bodily fluid at her twice, once in the store and another in the parking lot. It's creepy. I think you're in disbelief. The victim, who didn't want to be identified, told the news station. Is this really happening? It's disgusting. Who would do this? And then it goes through your mind, was he watching me the whole time?
Is that all that goes through your mind?
I mean, I would think that some other things would too, yes. Detectives said there could be more victims in Oregon unaware that he attacked. Authorities in Beavertown and Milwaukee are also investigating similar incidents. Police said that suspect
I
is...
think you peed on me.
Wait for it. This is where it gets... So the police said that the suspect is Hispanic male in his 20 to 40s and are asking the public's help in identifying. A surveillance image of the suspect has been released from the incident on April 5th. Anyone with information about the suspect is asked to contact Portland's Detective Chris Tainer.
One question.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes. I didn't know we were in school. You can put your hand down.
That description of that very person right there is like the whole lower half of the south end of the United States.
I know, right? Hispanic male, 20s to 40s. Like, okay.
I know 4 of them that wait for work at Home Depot every morning.
So they do. And,
no disrespect,
you know,
guys. No, but seriously, like I know a bunch of construction
No,
workers.
I know, right? But no, like I said, you know, there is a picture. They did get a surveillance picture, but unfortunately, we can't show it to them. But
yeah.
But it's okay. So to tell you guys, it's super grainy and pixely. You can't really see him that well, and he's
Shot
got
by
a
cell phone for
you know,
sure.
Yeah, he's got like it's a crappy camera, you can tell, and he's got a hoodie on and he's got a ball cap on, and he looks like he's probably about 5'5" to 6 foot tall.
Let's put it this way.
So,
to close the show and give everybody peace of mind, he looks just like your standard everyday guy standing on the corner. There's nothing. It's totally 2017 stereotyped out. And so what we'll do is we'll get Siobhan some way, somehow. She'll try to post a link in there so you guys can see it one way or another. Now, Monty earlier found an interesting way to post, and I watched him do it.
I saw that.
He spelled it out and then did the dot, and then the DOT, and then com. You know, or whatever.
Right.
But I don't know if you can do that exactly with yours, because yours is pretty lengthy in girth.
Right.
Anyway.
We're going to see what I can do.
So we're going to work on that, but we're going to get out of here, you guys. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the action. Rick, Lincoln County Metalheads, Monty Brown, everybody, Lynch, my man Jeff, I love you, man. Thank you so much for being a part of the action tonight. Siobhan, getting ready to go out this weekend. Hey, Rick, put us on the guest list. If you can get a hold of the bands, let them know. I'm going to, at some point, reactivate my Facebook, but I'm going to cut the portions down to, like, nothing. So, and then modification up a lot of things. So, get ready for next Thursday, or this Thursday, actually, I should say next. This Thursday, 8 to 10, where we're going to cover a lot of new stuff. We'll talk about, I don't know, some more douchebag criminals. We're going to talk about our new sponsors. And in the meantime, I want you guys to take your time to head over to check out ztbmagazine.com, Raw, Beautiful, Bold. Get a hold of my man Ryan Woods at designsbyraw.com. That's designs with a Z, shopbuyraw.com, and you want to hit him up 614-425-7. What is that? 7901. Just kidding. Yes, 7901. ColdCockWhiskey.com/store. Take your shot today. And my man Joe over at Columbus Botanical Depot. I love you, Joe. 614-407-4420. CBDHempHealth.com. More importantly, I love your CBD stuff.
Oh, yeah. Love that stuff, Joe.
Yes, there you go.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Love that stuff, Joe. Thank you.
You were dibbling around and it was making a lot of noise.
Oh, I apologize. Well, I got that posted, though, so we're good. Thanks for the trick, Monty. That actually worked.
Oh,
Appreciate
yeah,
it.
it did actually work.
You know,
Oh,
so
wow.
like put your dot in and bring stuff together, and you guys will be able to see this picture of this guy.
Right on. There you go. Bring that together. Bring us together. Thursday night, 8 to 10, antmanvs.com. From my social media. Rick, I'll see you soon. I will be in touch. Everybody else, I'll see you around on social media, Facebook, YouTube on Thursday.
See y'all Thursday.
Have a great night, Siobhan.
I'm gonna try.
Don't dick punch that hubby.